Okay, so make sure this is on. Cool. Readjust this. So, had some technical difficulties there. What is going on, guys? I'm back. Got some squats, some deadlifts on the menu today. Going to be hitting some SSB squats, getting heavy, going with some conventional deadlifts, and then some reverse band deadlifts to work on lockout strength. You might be looking at these boxes and thinking, what the hell are you doing? Well, right now I'm doing some seated box jumps before we get into the main movements. I am a big believer in staying as athletic as possible as a powerlifter, right? So that means incorporating jumps, maybe sprints if you're acclimated to them. Definitely some strongman, maybe Olympic style movements in your off season. I don't think that it is smart to get pigeonholed into just the big three, right? I think when you have downtime from competition, you want to be able to move your body in as many different ways as possible in order to maintain some joint integrity, joint health, right? And just give your body a little bit of a different stimulus, right? You become acclimated and accommodated to the same types of movements when you do them over and over and over again, right? The law of accommodation. So throwing in box jumps in your off season to develop explosive power and explosive strength, I think is nothing but a good idea if you can build up into it, right? So today we got some seated box jumps. I'm doing them without picking my feet up, so trying to mitigate as much momentum as possible. Really just to focus more on developing concentric power out of the hole. There's two different ways I like to do them, right? Number one is the way I just described. The other one is getting a little bit of almost like a rock back, picking the feet up, slamming them into the ground, and then performing the jump, which is bringing the stretch shortening cycle back into the equation, but at a much lower factor than, a typical plyometric. So I'm going to be doing these on what do we got here? This is a 36-inch box. Going to stay at this box height because I'm landing in a nice quarter squat right now. And I'm just going to be adding weight in each hand and progressing this over the coming weeks. But yeah, let's get into this. So, in a nutshell, I do believe that you should be as well-rounded as possible as a powerlifter. And it's just going to keep you healthy for a longer period of time, right? If you stay athletic and mobile and explosive, not only are you going to probably last longer in the sport, you're also going to just be a more capable human being if, anything ever happens. But yeah, still got it. Still got a little bit of that college athlete in me. All right, now we're going to get into some SSB squats. Going to work up to, I think we got 5s today. Probably going to work up to around 370-ish, get up to an RP 8. And then, yeah, got a nice little heavy day today, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. All right, let's get into it. First working set, 315 on the bar. Might not look like 315, but the SS yoke is 65 pounds. Got some loose fitting knee sleeves on. Been squatting for the last 6 to 8 weeks with no equipment on, so starting to throw some looser fitting sleeves into the equation just to provide a little bit of protection, a little bit of comfort as we work into some heavier weights here. Give my knees a little bit of a break from all the abuse we've been giving to them lately, but feeling pretty money today, so everything should be moving well. I'm a huge fan of the SSB. particularly for powerlifters and athletes. Besides front squats and Zercher squats, I really don't think any other squat variation builds the upper back quite the way that the SSB does. With its camber, it's trying to pull you forward, especially if you push up on the bars, which you should be doing. I see a lot of people kind of shove the bars into their chest. That's just turning it into more of a normal squat, right? So push those bars up. It's going to try to drag you forward and pitch you, pitch you towards your toes. So you really have to fight hard with your upper back and kind of drive it through the ceiling in order to be able to maintain your postural integrity. So big fan of this. It's definitely, this bar in particular has helped blow up my squat quite a bit. So I'm very biased towards this guy right here. But we got 5 reps, somewhere around an RPE 5. Okay, felt pretty good. It's set number 2, 345 on the bar. Point I want to build off of from the seated box jumps earlier. And I put this out on an Instagram reel from a few months ago. But with a lot of the athletes I work with, and this doesn't really go for powerlifters, this is more for team sport and, athletes of that nature, I notice a propensity towards shying away from heavy lifting as of lately, especially with the rise in social media, strength influencers, if you want to call them that, right? I think many athletes get caught up in the glamorization of these kind of BS exercises, honestly, that maybe only apply for the 0.01% of athletes in the world. I am a former college baseball player. I have not done serious athletic style training, like jumps, sprints. I have them peppered into my program, right? But in terms of athletic lifting, quote unquote, I haven't done that in over 2 years. With lifting heavy weight, right? Serious heavy strength training. In 1 year, my max vertical jump went from a 32, I believe it was, to a 36. I have to go back and check the video, right? But that's a 4-inch gain without doing any type of plyometrics, just coming directly from strength training. So my point being is, if you are an athlete, you need to realize that lifting heavy is your friend. And I'll get into that more in the next set. Woo! I feel solid today. Okay, so as I take my rest break here, I want to get into why heavy strength training or max effort work is so important for athletes, right? So a lot of athletes shy away from heavy barbell training in favor of like mobility work or these fancy and goofy stability ball and BS exercises in layman's terms, right? When you train heavy under a barbell, whatever movement you're doing, right, you are improving the efficiency of your nervous system. You are recruiting more fast twitch motor units, which will turn over and carry over to your sport, because in many team sports or individual sports for that matter, the actual sport activity, right, the sport specific movement is done explosively, right? The more explosivity and power you build, the better you'll be at your sport. The heavier we lift, the more capability for power you're able to build, because your body is able to recruit fast twitch motor units better, right? Your nervous system fires at a faster rate, so you're able to perform movements quicker. And not only that, but your capability, right, your threshold for power is going to go up. So if you pair heavy lifting with explosive movements like plyometrics or dynamic effort work, right, speed squats or speed bench, whatever it may be, Olympic lifts, right, your threshold of power is going to go up. You're going to be able to produce more power over the long term. Woo! Okay. Another thing that athletes don't realize with heavy strength training is that it will help prevent injury. Heavy strength training will build more tissue resilience, right? Your joints and your muscles become exposed to heavier loads over time. Therefore, they are able to decelerate better on the field. They're more prepared for quick cutting and juking actions, quick changes of motion, right? So over time, with heavy lifting, you're preventing the chances or mitigating the chances of non-contact injuries, and also getting your tissues ready, especially if you're like a contact sport athlete like football, rugby. You're getting your body ready to take super hard hits. So if you want to remain healthy, you should be training heavy. Big thing for me that I've been working on here is setting my hips a little bit higher. I'm a very long femored individual, right? So even though conventional deadlifts are, for some reason, most comfortable for me, still trying to find that kind of optimal setup position with my hip height. And I think really the key for me is trying to be more patient off the floor with my slack pull. That's kind of what I've found my internal cue to be. That has really helped me out, rather than just gripping and ripping it. Really taking time to get my back super tight and kind of ease into and feel that initial slack pull. And then once that bar hits my shins and makes contact, I'm taking off. So we'll see if I can kind of put it together here today. Yeah, here we go. Little side view, hopefully that stays. Trying to see where my hip height is, see if I'm doing a little bit of a better job there. You guys, let me know in the future what type of content you want to see, right? If you enjoy this kind of vlog style video where I talk through my training and give tips, I will keep making that. If you just want to see training with no commentary at all, that's cool. I'm going to experiment with some different kind of videos coming up soon, just to kind of get a feel of what you guys are looking for. But please don't hesitate to leave comments. Let me know what you guys want to see. And if you're looking to find some premium, remote strength training, go ahead and shoot me a DM at Sasso Performance on Instagram if you're looking to train with me. But anyway, got 4 here. 405 on the bar. Keep it nice and tight. Last video looked good. Took a peek at it. Everything's looking pretty solid right now, so we're gonna keep that train rolling. Hit one more solid set here. Ooh. All right, not bad. Kind of felt a little heavy, but last but not least for our supplemental movements today, we have some reverse band deadlifts, trying to work on our lockout a little bit. So if you've never seen a setup like this before, I'll go ahead and make a video on this another day, but for most of pretty much all the strength coaches that are watching this are going to know exactly what this is doing. But for the athletes and the powerlifters, what this setup is doing here is providing assistance out of the bottom. These bands will then unload at the top of the movement, which will then make all of the straight weight, right, all of the bar weight available at the top. So at the bottom, this is, we've got 405 on the bar. This is probably giving us about 120, give or take, pounds of assistance out of the bottom, more or less. And then once we get to the top, I have this set up so that the bar is going to completely come out of the bands. So I will have the full bar weight at the top of the movement, right? So really just kind of overemphasizing and trying to build that top end lockout strength. Yeah. All right. This is a warm-up set, so let's get into it. Yeah, nice. Second warm-up set here, 450 on the bar. And yeah, for those of you who want to do your research into this, this is called the lightened method. Search up, Westside Barbell, lightened method. You're probably going to see the first video pop up. It's going to be reverse band bench. But yeah, absolutely tremendous method for improving your lockout strength. You can do this with pretty much squats, bench, and deadlift. There's a lot of different ways that you can apply this to your training. Probably too many ways to be able to list in one video here. I think most athletes, if you've been around high level strength and conditioning training, you'll probably be used to a band resisted setup where, if I was doing deadlift, I would be, standing probably in a deadlift on a deadlift platform with the band over the barbell, providing more resistance at the top of the movement. That is another way of doing it, right? You can also do that with chains. All of these methods are forms of accommodating resistance, right? So variable resistance, it's just giving you different levels of pushback, of resistance throughout the lift to work on certain different types of things. So I'll probably make a video on accommodating resistance in the future because it's something I use pretty often in my training. Even in my accessory lifts, I'll use it every once in a while. So yeah, that'll be on the agenda going forward. Let's hit one rep here, and then we're going to get into our working sets. Cool. 505 on the bar. Going to hit this for 3. I got a loose belt on just to give me a little bit of something to brace into. Just a little bit of support, but nothing crazy. Yeah, we got 3 reps here at an RPE 6, and then probably go up to something around 545 after this. Whew. All right. Here we go. Come on. Number 2, 545 on the bar. Whew. Woo. Last set. 565 on the bar. Here we go. Whew. All right, so I'm going to finish up here with some overhead kettlebell carry. Not really going to film or provide too much commentary because it's getting late and I want to get out of here and enjoy the rest of my Sunday evening. So I'll film the sets. I won't talk much. But guys, if you enjoyed what you saw today, if you thought that those were some worthwhile tips that you can take into your training, go ahead and leave a like. Hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you want to train with me, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram at Sasso Performance, or fill out the consultation form on my website, www.sassoperformance.com. I would love to help you guys out. And I will talk to you guys later. All right. Have a great night. Peace out.